Unless you can find presence in your life, everything will eventually become boring. On the flip side of that, when you find presence in your life, anything can become interesting, anything can become joyous. This video is designed to serve as a guide for you to recenter yourself, reignite your spark, and to unlock your inner brilliance as a man, which I believe we all have inside of us. Now, I've been lost many times. I've been lost just recently. I seem to get lost every month or so in my life. So don't believe that just because you've gotten lost that you're not on the right track, or you're a bad person, or you're not doing things the right way. Everybody gets lost, and I think it's a good thing, because getting lost leads to pain. Straying from the path and not knowing what you're doing leads to pain as a man. Pain leads to reflection. Why do I feel this way? Why are things not working? And that reflection leads to growth. The pain that you find in your life is the reason that you grow. And the worst times in my life, time and time again, I look back on them and I think, fuck, thank God that I had that thing happen to me, because it became my biggest blessing. It became the thing that made me into a man. And nearly always I look back on times of celebration, I looked back on times of victory as times where I screwed things up for the future. So being in a negative path right now, being lost, not knowing what you're doing, is one of the biggest positives you could possibly have. As long as you find the pain, you reflect on it and you grow from it. And this is the system, this video is the system that I use, and I've used very recently to realign myself and produce my best work, to be the best possible version of me, and I'm going to share it with you now. I'll bring you to my first lesson, and when I look back on my life and review it, I think there's many things I could attribute to my success, but there's a particular lesson that I've told before that seems to be the biggest. It seems to stand out the most, and it's really rooted in presence. It's rooted in becoming present. And I remember originally having this thought and this switch in mindset when I read the book The Power of Now, which is an incredible book if you haven't read it, fully about becoming present. So after this video, you could get that book, and if you want to go deeper into this and truly learn, that book is a very good way of doing so. But it's a time when I ran out of money in Thailand, and I felt like the world was coming down around me, and I was super stressed, and I was trying to fight everything. I was fighting super hard to try and make money and try and do my thing. And I read that book, and I just centered myself in the actual presence of the moment, and I realized that nothing was actually wrong. My health was perfect. I still had a roof over my head. I had a little bit of money in my bank account, and I had some ideas, and I had support around me, and I had people that I could rely on, friends I could live with if I ran out of money, a girlfriend that I could go and see. And I realized that I could actually start enjoying my life right now, whereas before I'd had this thing in my mind that I'm not going to let myself enjoy anything until I've had success. I must have success. And I let all of that go because it was making me so angry and so upset and so stressed about achieving things in my life that I just let that go. And I thought, you know what, fuck it, my life's awesome. I've moved out here, I've left my 9 to 5, I'm on a tropical island. Yeah, I'm running out of money, but fuck it, man, I'm living my life. And I realised that the future and the past do not exist. That is the essence of presence. You realise that you really truly only get what we have right now. We do live experiences and we can remember them, and there are things coming in the future, but the only experience you have as a man is done in this moment. And the way you feel about life right now can be any way you want it to be. You have the chemistry in your brain, you have the ability to feel the way you want to feel right now, because when you decide to enjoy your life right now, everything falls into place. You become on a higher vibration, I will say. I have a video about this, but that you guys might have seen, about becoming a high vibrational person. But I believe that the planes of consciousness, when you're on a low vibration, you're worried or scared, you're fearful or you're guilty, you struggle to find answers, because I believe answers are found on a higher vibrational frequency. All the answers you need are on this spectrum, somewhere along the line. But when you feel super down and you feel scared and you operate from a place of fear, you can't see the answers that are held in places of joy and freedom, joy and purpose, peace. You can't find those answers. So one of the biggest mindset shifts that attributed to my success was becoming present. And the reason why is because I started to be happier. I started to enjoy my life. And that in turn brought me the answers which were held on those higher vibrational fields. Do not try and force and fight with life. Accept and enjoy everything you can, whilst also taking the best actions you can right now to become the best person you could possibly be. The modern world will also often make you think about competing with others. With social media, you see everybody's life. You see my life. And I can only imagine what that must be like, because I saw my people having a life like mine when I was working a 9 to 5 or wasn't in the place I wanted to be. And it doesn't feel good. And I've let that all go from my mind. I do not compete with other people. I only compete with myself. And I've spent so much time in the past thinking about what I want in the future because somebody else has got it, that I missed living and enjoying the moments of my life that were once my wildest dreams. I was living my wildest dreams, bigger than I ever could have hoped, but already I'm thinking about the next thing of the next person. So the only person I compete with now is myself, and I don't compete for accolades and I don't compete for success. I compete to become the best version of me. And I stopped wishing for someone else's story. I stopped wishing to be somebody else, because all the success that I've felt in my life has come from being me. It's come from being completely and authentically who I am and not trying to be anybody else's story. So one thing I'd say to you right now is many guys wish for a different start in life. They wish they'd had different circumstances. They wish that their life was different. When you're wishing away the one thing that holds the key to your success, your uniqueness, is the only thing that no one can take. Your story is the only thing that you have. So don't wish it away. Just make it a fucking good story. That's what you need to do. So hopefully the last 2 slides have helped expand your mind a little bit, have helped to make you think in a different way, or at least put you at ease a little bit in your mindset and the way you're thinking about things. And now we're going to go into more of the practical side of how to become more present in the things that you do. So presence is the realization that you cannot live in the future of the past, which is what we've just talked about, that you can only experience right now. The problem with the modern world is it's designed to keep you from presence, we could say. I don't necessarily think it's designed on purpose, that people are trying to keep you from presence. I think naturally the way the world has evolved with our economies and the way we work, it just has become designed to keep you from presence, not because someone evil is trying to do so, but because that's the way of the world. And you have to be conscious of this. You have to realize that in your mind, that the world is going to keep you from becoming the best version of yourself if you let it. And the reason why is you've got distraction in your pocket, the entertainment, the news, the people around you. The true version of you, the best possible version, is not found within entertainment. It is not found within distraction. It is found inside. It's found when you can channel deep into your core and understand who you are and what you want. So to become more present, we must cut the inputs. You must try as hard as possible to cut the information that you're taking in, to cut out anything that does not concern you. A wealth of information creates poverty of attention. Herbert Simon. Incredible quote. Joy wouldn't feel so good if it wasn't for pain. Live what can be lived. Do not reject a moment that's not what you want. Don't wish your days away for the future. Immerse yourself in life. Live what can be lived. Try and find some meaning in your suffering. Try and find some meaning in your pain. And I find this comes from sitting down and taking a breath and slowing down your life. Take 5 minutes to sit in silence, to clear the mind and become present with the body, become present with who you are. And live the life that you can live. Live the suffering right now. Live your hero's arc. Live the journey. Live the story. Yeah, you might be down bad right now. Yeah, things might be going bad in your life. But what kind of man are you? What kind of person are you to deal with this situation? We don't get to decide in life what situations we're put in. The only thing we have control of is how we deal with those situations. So decide, what kind of man do you want to be? Are you going to sit there and let your problems destroy you? Are you going to make the best possible move no matter what inside of your life? And I find with this period of silence, it gives some space for the answers to flow freely to you if you make time to hear them. Most of us are so confused and so boggled by life, and it's because we never spend any time in silence. We never allow anything to cut through the noise for the answers to be given to us. And this sort of ties into guarding your mind. You think of all the useless information you consume, that we consume, most of us, is a roller coaster of emotions. Think consciously from now on about what you let into your mind. There's more wisdom held in great books than you could ever learn in 1,000 lifetimes lived on this earth. And they are there and available for you to read. That's the information that you let in. You must understand that everything you've gone through, every problem that you face in life, everything that you feel, somebody's gone through before. And they've written incredible books about it. That's the wisdom that you seek. That's the information you let into your mind. Use that help. Use that guidance. Nourish the mind with fantastic literature. I recommend the book Stillness is the Way by Ryan Holiday. That is one of the books that this video is based on. As a lot of you know, I lost my first professional fight in November, and I had poured my heart and soul into that fight with the hardest training camp of my life, hardest preparations of my life, and I lost because I couldn't empty my mind. I lost because I could not become present, because I became so focused on the result that I forgot to release that pressure and just play, and just go in there and perform, and just go in there and do what I needed to do. Because the magnitude of the event got to me, because I was so concerned with what other people thought, because I was so concerned with winning, I completely sabotaged myself. I let that constant thought drain me. And you must learn to perform at your absolute best. You must empty the mind. You must just be. You must be present. You must enjoy things. Everything doesn't have to be so hard. It has to be reframed in your mind. I should have played through that fight camp. I should have trained my absolute hardest, but I should have played. I should have kept my humour. I should have kept my fun in my life. And I should have just gone in there and I should have just let it be. I should have just said, Jack, whatever result, you train the absolute hardest you could do, buddy. Go out there and give it your all. And that's all right. Just go and give it everything you've got. But I didn't. I said, Jack, you've got to win. That your life will be over if you don't win. Your life will be over if you don't knock him out. And what did I do? I went in there trying to look to knock him out. I tried in there too hard. I forgot the things that I'd learnt in my training. And in the end, I was put down in the third round, I believe. I can't remember. I can't really watch the fight back. It still holds a lot of pain for me. But I was. It's something that I'm working through with that loss, and it's taught me a hell of a lot about how you overcome pressure, and I'm very, very happy I did it. But that's one thing I'd like to pass on to you guys. A lesson that I learned is just take the fucking pressure off yourself, okay? Just fucking enjoy shit and empty the mind of those thoughts. Don't think all the time. When you do think, however, think deeply. Spend regular time pondering these questions. When I meet somebody, maybe they want to come into our new elite group, which is my high-level network. It's kind of my inner circle, my brotherhood, the guys I spend time with. And when somebody enters, I normally find that guys, especially when they have money, we have a lot of 6- and 7-figure entrepreneurs that are unfulfilled in their life. And you might be sitting there thinking, well, this is fucking crazy. They've got all this money. Why are they not fulfilled? Trust me, money will solve a lot of your problems, but it doesn't solve the core. It doesn't solve the core problems. But I found this way of thinking does solve these core problems. And when you do think, rather than thinking little thoughts and letting your mind run wild, think deeply about these things. What is important to you in your life? Actually think about that question. What is actually important to you? What do you actually like? Not what do I like? Not what do I think you should do? Not what your mum thinks you should do? Not what your friend thinks you should do? What do you actually think is important to you as a person? What's actually going on? Have a look in your life and think, when you take emotions out of things, what's actually going on in my life? What's hidden from view? What can't I see right now? What's the meaning of this life? What do I want my life to mean at the end of this? Surely this wasn't just some rat race chasing money. What's the actual meaning behind all of this? Have a think about that. And what activities make you feel like a child? This is big. This is absolutely humongous. This is where a lot of the secrets are found, is what can you do and be childlike and playful? What are the things that really ignite that inner child in you? What makes you creative and imaginative again, like you were when you were a child with no worries? That's a very interesting thought to ponder, and how you should take and direct your life. And who makes you feel great? Who are the people that you should actually be around? Are the people in your life bringing you down, or are they bringing you up? And you have a look and you observe your life, and if you don't have those people, you spend time alone and you try and find a new network, a new group of people. That's why we set up the New Elite. Network of brothers together, making money with the right mindset, able to take each other to the next level. You don't have to join the New Elite. You can if you want. Check out the link in the description. But you need to find new people that expand your mind, that believe in you, that bring you up to a new level. That's what a lot of people are missing. So ponder these questions when you do think, and the rest of the time clear your mind. Another thing I've come back to recently is journaling. I thought I was bigger than journaling. I'm a big fella. I'm a big fucking muscle man. I don't fucking journal. That's for nerds. That's for dorks. And I couldn't have been more wrong. No matter how big the man is on the outside, no matter how tough he seems. Inside is intricate, it's delicate, it's complicated, the inside of your mind, and you have to find ways to deal with that as a man. And I remember when I used to journal, it helped me a lot because I could view myself from a third person. I could write down how my life's been going, and I would just review it at the end of each day. How am I feeling? How did this go today? What did I do? What did I eat? All this sort of stuff. How do I feel about this? What are my problems? And what am I worried about? And I could review it and read over it, and I could look and quickly see, well, Jack, you've had 4 Red Bulls on that day. Of course you feel a little bit fucked up, mate. Or you were drinking the night before. That's why your mood's depressed. Or you didn't sleep. Or you've missed a workout for 3 days. That doesn't happen very often, though. I don't normally miss workouts, but I've certainly drank a lot of Red Bull. The point is, it gives you a clear guide of what's going on in your life, and you can view it from another person, and you can advise yourself as if you were another person. If you read exactly what someone was doing in their life and there were some glaringly obvious mistakes, you can quickly correct them. So I'm going back to journaling because I need to make sense of an ever more complicated life. My life is 100 times more complicated than it was this time last year. That's what happens when you make more money, more problems. There's more to think about. And I want to become a better person, a better man. So journaling's something I'm going back to. I recommend you do the same. Release the things you can't say to other people. As men, I don't particularly like talking about problems. I don't like confiding in other people. I don't want to talk about shit. I don't want to be seen as weak or have those conversations. But I happily tell a piece of paper and talk about it with myself because I know I've got the answers inside me. I just need to look at it from a different frame. So get a paper, notepad, don't write this stuff online. That's one of the biggest things I think about journals, is that you want to be able to pour your heart and soul into this. You want to be able to say things that maybe you wouldn't want people seeing. So don't write it on a computer. Write it on a piece of paper, write it in a book. Keep that book safe. And when you've got your feelings and your thoughts on a different piece of paper, you can look at yourself from a different perspective. And you write to help yourself. You're not writing for other people to read. You just write to purely help yourself. So that's another one to increase your presence and your life fulfillment, I think. Thought will not work except in silence. Thomas Carlyle. Find silence again. I fucking love music. You guys know that. Check out my Instagram reels. I love music. There's so much I want to talk about with the power of music. And it's an absolute incredible force, but music really hits different after a period of silence. The same as that first meal hits after you've been fasting. And everything in life, I believe, should be moderated in that way. You must create room for your big ideas. And the big ideas are not found in rooms talking with 10 different people. They're not found in the chaos of the world. They're not found listening to rock music. They are found on silent walks alone. They are found sitting alone in a dark room with your pen and paper out. They are found in silence. That's where the messaging comes from, whether you believe it's from God, whether you believe it's universal consciousness, whether you believe it's the vibrational frequencies of the universe. Whatever you believe, those ideas have to come for you, and they come for you in silence. So you must spend time just sitting there, just being alone. Spend 10 minutes per day with a notepad out in front of you. It's one thing I do. In complete silence. Just see what comes to you. When you're at the end of the road, when you're at a dead end, your life seems pretty fucked. You sit down for 10 minutes with a notepad and bang, out of nowhere, the wisdom comes through. You don't know where it came from, but like a bolt of lightning, boom! Suddenly it's in your head and you write it down. It's a hack, for sure. It's a fucking hack. And to finish up this video, the learning must never cease. The noble person who studies widely and examines himself each day will become clear in his knowing and faultless in his conduct. Zuni. Exuni. I don't know how to say that, but he seems like a wise fella. And what this really means is you continue learning, you keep a beginner's mind. There's many people I meet that I can instantly tell if they will become successful or not, depending on their ability to learn and take in information. I know that I know very little. I know that I don't know much about anything, and I'm very happy to learn from other people at all times in my life. I've learnt great things from idiots. I've met some idiots, but they've taught me a couple of things. I met a complete idiot, actually, the other day. Well, I just thought, I do not want to be anything like you. He taught me some interesting stuff about nutrition. So keep that beginner's mind and examine yourself. That's through the journal, through the silence. Examine yourself, and you'll become clear on what you actually know and what you want, and you'll become faultless in your conduct. You'll start to alter the way you behave. That's all from me for today, lads. And we've just finished up the podcast studio, so we'll be bringing you some podcasts very, very soon. That looks awesome. That was a fucking dope putting that together, and I'm looking forward to some longer form content for you guys. And I've got my cameraman arriving tomorrow, 4 p.m, so we'll be doing vlogs again, so that's pretty exciting. And I'm going to bring some of these to you every week, some of these educational videos on the PowerPoints, since you all seem to like PowerPoints for some reason. And lads, that's about all I've got for you. So boys, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I'll see you on the next one. Whoop-ow! Whoop-ow!